I will never be selling all of my Toshi. Even though this isn't financial advice, some people may be thinking, wait, hold on. What do you mean by that? Never selling all. Well, what I mean by that statement is that I'm never going to be exiting 100%. However, of course, I'm going to be exiting because the way to take a look at it is that if I never do that, that'd be kind of crazy. But again, I'm never going to be exiting completely because the way I view it is that Toshi has a very bright long-term future. And let's say Toshi were to go to the price of 2 cents during this bull run, which is my price target for it, and maybe even more. Eventually, after the bull run is over, there's going to be a moment where there's going to be a bear market. We all know this, historically speaking. Usually after a very amazing bull run, there is a bear market. And of course, at that point, I would assume, hypothetically, the price of Toshi is going to tank very hard. However, even despite that, do I ever think we could very well see levels this low ever again? I don't think so. Like, even if that crash were to happen, I think that Toshi might never even reach below the price of half a cent ever again. Now, this is just speculation, but this is just the way I view it. Because if someone years ago said that they were never going to be selling all of their Shiba Inu or Dogecoin, I think a lot of people would say, wow, that's crazy. Why would you say that? However, as of right now, because Shiba Inu and Dogecoin, they have this very loyal and passionate following, people who said that back then, they're no longer being considered as these people who made a bad decision. Just think about Cardano's native token called ADA. At one point, the price was hovering around 3 cents. Then eventually, we all know what happened. In 2021, it absolutely skyrocketed. However, even besides that, when the price of ADA really tanked, did we ever see the price of ADA ever go below the price of, 10 cents ever again? No, that's never going to happen, right? Even though, again, all-time high was slightly above $3 depending on the site or exchange, it's never going to go below the price of 10 cents, in my opinion, ever. So when I take a look at stuff like that, these good projects that have a bright long-term future, they usually sometimes, in some cases, never reach the levels in which they once were before they had that massive rise. Take a look at Shiba Inu and Dogecoin. When Shiba Inu and Dogecoin tanked after the 2021 bull run was over, did they ever go to a $500 million market cap or something like that? No, that's not going to happen. And I think when it comes to Toshi, even though I don't think it's ever going to be as massive as like a Dogecoin, because of course that's always going to be the leader, or like a Shiba Inu, even despite that, I think that even after it reaches a very amazing peak and has a massive pullback, I think the levels in which we see right now, we can never very well see it again. So that's why I'm never going to be selling all. It's like, for instance, people who acquired Bitcoin at the price of $1, if those people said they're never going to be selling all, back then it would be considered kind of crazy. But as of right now, you know what? Bitcoin has done very well, so it doesn't seem like really a bad idea, really. That's why I'm kind of copying that idea, because I think that Toshi is going to be around for multiple cycles to come. I don't think it's going to be this meme coin that's going to disappear after this bull run is over, because being a meme coin on the Base network, which is Coinbase's layer 2 network, I highly doubt that something like this is going to disappear off into the abyss. And also, not to mention, Toshi, the amazing thing about it is that Coinbase, again, they have a layer 2 network called the Base network, which Toshi is on, but then Toshi is named after Brian Armstrong's cat. Brian Armstrong is the co-founder of Coinbase. So this does have a very good name origin, in my opinion. And when you take a look at the Base network, it's a layer 2, and of course, naturally what it does is that it allows Ethereum to be enjoyed, while at the same time not having to deal with its drawbacks like high gas fees and scalability issues. Even despite that, people may think that, okay, it's cool, but there are so many layer 2s out there. Well, again, if Coinbase has a layer 2, I think it's going to have a bright future. And I think naturally, because it has a good long-term future, I think so will something like Toshi, which many people argue is a top 2 meme coin on the Base network. Of course, we all know Brett. We all know Toshi. So this is pretty much the top 2 players. Brett is kind of like Dogecoin. Toshi is kind of like Shiba Inu. This is the way I view it. And why wouldn't something this amazing not reach the price of 2 cents? That's just the way I view this whole situation, because again, Toshi is listed on Coinbase, which is amazing. Not to mention it's listed on Crypto.com along with a bunch of other major exchanges. Yeah, I don't think this is going to disappear. We've seen time and time again meme coins that have a good following, that have a good foundational concept in a sense that's pretty unique for its time, and also at the same time amazing exposure. They usually don't disappear off into the abyss ever. Take a look at Pepe. People thought that, oh yeah, it's going to disappear after its peak. It's still there. Take a look at Dog with Hat. It's still there. Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, we all know that. So this isn't going to be something that's going to just be here one day and then be gone the next. I highly doubt that. Not to mention, when you take a look at it, the amount of crypto owners is just constantly growing. The peak of the 2021 bull run, we saw around 300 million crypto owners. Now there's over 600 million, according to Crypto.com research. We all know this, and we all know that people love meme coins. So I think it's only fair to assume that as the base network gains more attention, as more and more people get into this space, and naturally some of them will love meme coins, I think Toshi right here could very well be a big narrative that people latch onto, because I think people are kind of tired of, FOMOing into Shiba Inu and Dogecoin, also Pepe to a certain extent. I think they want to look for the next big thing. And people usually, they like something that's cool, that's interesting. So when they take a look at the base network, they see a meme coin like Toshi on it. This right here, I think, is game, set, match. Not only is Toshi named after Brian Armstrong's cat, but also the name is very similar to Satoshi Nakamoto, the alleged creator of Bitcoin. So I think this right here is very amazing. Again, has aspects of that Bitcoin origin in a sense, I would say. Has that aspect of being named after Brian Armstrong's cat, being listed on Coinbase, and then being, or should I say existing, on Coinbase's Layer 2 network. This is amazing. This really solidifies Toshi as really a premier meme coin on the base network. Because if, let's say, it was listed, on these other exchanges, but not listed on Coinbase, people are going to argue that, okay, yeah, it's on the base network, but why isn't it on Coinbase? It makes no sense. But now that it's on Coinbase, it gives a lot of validity, if that makes sense. It's like being a basketball player. Yeah, you're a basketball player, but are you in the NBA? You know what I mean? It's just kind of like that validity in a sense. Oh, you play football. Do you play for the NFL? So the way I view it is that Toshi being listed on Coinbase is like as if a basketball player made it to the NBA or like a football player made it to the NFL. So this right here is kind of like a full circle type of moment. And at the price of 2 cents, it's actually not even that ridiculous at all. If it were to go to that price, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be nearly $8 billion, or should I say around $8 billion. And that's actually not too bad. I mean, we've seen something like Dogecoin, especially back in 2021, reach over 80 billion. Shiba Inu also that year reached around a $40 billion market cap. I'm not talking about crazy record-breaking figures here. Toshi, in my opinion, isn't going to be the number one meme coin of all time. I'm being realistic. It's also not going to have the best hypothetical upside because 2 cents is around a 14x from here. Now, it's actually not that bad considering how much it pumped, but still, in the grand scheme of things, there's probably going to be a micro cap that's going to outperform it percentage-wise. And I'm totally comfortable with that because I am not in the world of cryptocurrencies to look for a micro cap, but I'm not looking for a dinosaur either. Like, I'm not going to get into like a Shiba Inu or Dogecoin. But at the same time, I'm not going to get into some random micro cap meme coin, which could theoretically do very amazing, outperforming Toshi in some cases. But I'm comfortable not taking that chance because that's a little bit too risky. I'm looking for a meme coin that is somewhat established, but then not really popping off yet, right? And I think that was Toshi, and that is still Toshi. Now, it was more so this before it pumped, much like I predicted. But the way I view it is that, again, there's brighter days ahead. And I think, if anything, what happened with Toshi showcases that things peak when you least expect them to do so in some cases. Because even though I've always thought that Toshi was going to do very well, and you can watch my earlier videos on Toshi, I never expected it would happen this soon, or this fast, I would say. I thought maybe it would happen like mid-2025, like in May or like June, July or something like that. But then the fact that it's happening as of right now, could you imagine once May comes around, June, July? At that point, maybe 2 cents may seem a little bit bearish, especially as Bitcoin reaches that next level of 150,000, 200,000, maybe 250,000, who knows, maybe even beyond. I think that there's brighter days ahead when it comes to Toshi. However, even let's say this bull run is over, I'm still going to be never selling all my Toshi because, again, despite the price pullback that I think we could very well see after Toshi reaches an amazing peak, I think that we might never very well see Toshi below the price of half a cent, or let's say a quarter of a cent. So again, I think it's going to be around for multiple cycles to come. I'm never going to be selling all, even though, of course, there's going to be a moment when I exit and my price target is going to be 2 cents. However, I'm never going to be exiting 100% because I believe in this project for the long term, even just beyond this bull run. But again, more specifically during this bull run, 2 cents, that wouldn't be shocking to me whatsoever. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's only the captain. And I'll catch you all on the next one. I'm a peace. Bye.